a stockpile of 3-inch 4 patches.
3-inch 4 patches.
Right. We are now going to, all right, you are a chef, all right? So I'm going to use a cooking term, and we call them hors d'oeuvres. Did you use hors d'oeuvres?
No.
Hors d'oeuvres. You've never heard of hors d'oeuvres? Like snacks before meal.
Yeah, but okay. I don't
Am
know.
I saying it right?
Appetizers? No, not appetizers.
We say hors d'oeuvres. It's French. You speak French.
Maybe it's not the... I don't know. It's okay.
You guys know I'm not crazy. Just write him letters and tell him he needs to learn what hors d'oeuvres are, okay? When we make an hors d'oeuvre, it might be a cracker with something on it. It might be a little salami or it's a little...
I know.
But
Yeah.
we call them hors d'oeuvres. And we put them on trays. We are going to make an hors d'oeuvre tray, all right? Now, let me tell you what we've done. Remember when we set aside your dark fabrics
Yes.
and your light fabrics? We set aside 2, right? This one and this one. But we've talked about it, and I urged you to go ahead and put the black one in there. So these are, all 3 of these are 2 layers thick. So in other words, this one those are the 2 layers. So we have a total of 6 layers.
6.
I really wouldn't do any more than that. That's already plenty. All right. So I'm going to lay these out on this with what I'm going to consider a 1/2 inch between. Your finger is about a 1/2 inch. That's the measurement that we're going to use.
Even here?
Yep. We're going to go 3 that way, and we're going to come all the way across this direction as far as it will let us, making the hors d'oeuvre tray. This one, he's not going to fit, so I'll go here, grab that one there. There we go. All right, and one more right there. Perfect. All right, so now I'm going to do this because it'll be quicker, but you would be able to do it, and everybody, you would be able to do that as well. And you do not have to use a ruler for this, but let's try it. Okay, let's use the little ruler. All right, I'm going to come in and I'm going to cut an approximate, I'm not trying to measure anything, an approximate 1/4 inch all the way around this whole thing. All right, so I'm going to, and I may end up just not using the ruler, but that's got me for part of it. Then I'm just going to come around here. Again, I am not measuring perfectly. Just going to slide this along. And then this part can just go away for a minute. All right? Now we've got the hors d'oeuvre tray. And what I want you to do is cut down the middle, whatever the middle is. We're not measuring. You're cutting down the middle of each of these. You can try it.
Well, I don't understand why we are doing this.
Yeah, because I'm not telling you first, right?
But it's a bit confusing.
But
you should tell.
No, you're gonna figure it out. Just trust me. Trust me. There's a reason for all of this. And everybody is as curious as you are, so the good news is they're gonna keep watching.
Yeah, it's like a scary movie.
The last bit is a fold, so you need to just shave off a little bit so that we don't have the fold on that side over there. Can you get closer at all? There you go. Good. And just again, watch your fingers. Be safe. Always be safe. All right? Now, cut between those.
My God.
I told you we're making hors d'oeuvres. Appetizers, hors d'oeuvres. I'm going to put the word up on the screen,
yeah,
and then you're going to say what
can you spell it?
Well, no. I can't. I believe it's an HOR, and then it's a space, and then there's like a D and an apostrophe. But I'm doing this from the top of my head, but I'm going to put it on the screen because, oh, this one, he needs just a little shave off on that side. Yep. Isn't that awesome? All right, very good. All right, now we're going to continue to do that with all of these, all right? But to save time for right now, I'm going to move these out of the way. Didn't they look fabulous? They look fabulous. And what I'm going to do now is I want you to take the top off, okay, like the pepperoni is going to leave. You've got the cracker, and I want you to cut the cracker on the diagonal from point to point.
What are you doing? Oh, I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, maybe that makes it even better.
It's so frustrating.
But guess who does know what he's doing?
You take a pecan cracker and you put some jam, and you put a slide of pepperoni and mozzarella, and then you just slide with basilic, and then you cut it.
Yeah, so I freaked out because I was completely lost. Because what I am doing, what he's doing, and I tried to figure it out what we were cutting, why, and I was completely lost, really. And then I understood it was more lost.
Very, very good. All right, oops. Remember, you got to start before, cut, and then so you're not having to chop. Very good. Now, take the pepperoni off and cut the cracker from corner to corner.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think they probably are laughing at me.
No, I don't think they are. They are supporting you big time. One more time. Let's go ahead and get all 3 of these done from corner to corner. 6 layers, not so bad. All right, so, didn't put enough pressure on it. Very common, very common. All right, so now, every one of these that we cut, for example, all of the brown ones, we ended up making 4 triangles out of the squares. Mm-hmm. So in reality, we did four of these, four of these, and 4 of these.
12.
And this is what we're really going to do. And you do not need to use the same fabric all the way around, but we are going to make these units. And I'm going to teach you how to sew those together.
Homes?
What's that?
Homes. It's like
homes. Oh, little houses. Yeah, it's a little house. Very good. Yes.
I discover it's done.
Right.
We finished.
All right. So we're ultimately, this is what we're about to make. All right. Now the thing is, you can use the same color on all 4 of them.
Oh my gosh, it's
but
so difficult.
No, there's nothing difficult about this.
I'm going to sew this.
Yes. Are you ready?
No.
Yes, you are. All right.
I need
so
some time. I will
but
cry.
See, but 1, 2, 3 triangles that are the same color. 1 triangle is different. I could also put one of the black ones in here. It doesn't matter.
I like really this color.
Okay, we're going to use all of them, right? We're going to use all of them because we're going to mix it up. So you can use all 4, but to do this, we're going to sew this together by putting this so that the triangle is on the bottom. You remember you put your right sides together. So this is the right side going down every time. You will see the seams on the back side. And I want you to have the same amount before and after. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be perfect. I want it to look like it's basically centered. You know you have to lick your fingers, by the way. You don't know about licking the fingers?
No.
Okay, because the fabric gets stuck and you have to kind of lick your fingers to get it.
Barley, Rosie, come here.
So I've got the ears on each side about equal, and you're simply going to take this to the machine, go through the machine, and we're going to chain piece again. Now, I'm not going to worry about this. I see that that seam allowance is going, you know, it's kind of a wonky seam allowance. Don't worry about that on this project. Most of yours are looking really good. And look, I'm going to keep sewing to the end of that triangle so that I can pick up another one of these guys, put it right sides together, take it over to here. I'm trying to get this somewhat centered again so that I have the same amount of bunny ears on each side. So I'm sewing through, lift up the foot because it was a little bit. Okay, you got the next one ready to go? All right. So you could as well, you could lift your foot, and on this machine, if you hit the heel of the foot, if you hit this part, it will raise that needle, and you could pull it along a little bit and then start the next one.
I don't know why I'm not feeling confident.
Just keep mindlessly following me. I will not lead you astray.
Ricky! Where are you? You said trust you! Ricky! Ricky! You said you never lead me astray!
Hey, I'm right here. Hey, you're on the right path. Now, let's get back to your project.
Yeah, you started going real slow. That's unusual.
Yeah.
You've been going lickety-split up till now.
Because, you know, I need to
Alright.
be sure, okay?
All right. All right. Now let's cut those. Go ahead and cut that. And let's take them out. Okay. Now let's come over here. We've got 3 of them. Go ahead and cut them apart. All right. Press these out. And you can finger press that. You do that one. Because you will have chain pieced several of these. And it doesn't matter what triangle you choose next, but we're going to do the same thing. This is the right side. The right side is going to go down on top of the triangle. And the triangle should also be right side if you're using a fabric that has a right side. So this is the next side we're going to sew. So this is the right side. Choose a triangle. Yeah, doesn't matter. Lay the triangle down first with that side. To the right side is straight. We're going to go completely to the opposite side. There you go. Completely opposite. Does that make sense? We're doing, like if it was east and west, we're not doing east and south. We're going completely across, and you're not. There you go. All right, turning it around. Perfect. All right, let's cut that one. And you would just chain piece these. You would continue to do 8, 10, 12 of them before you take them out. Finger press this one.
It's confusing.
What? Tell me what's confusing.
It's a triangle. It's like It's like for me, it's a roof.
Okay.
I know.
But
yeah.
what's confusing?
I'm sewing. I'm lost now.
Okay. But if you were to take this one, what would you do next?
Yeah. So I will.
Remember, this is right side up, and it must go right sides together. So where are you going to put that one? All right, and that is correct. And then you would sew where? Yeah, right here.
Well, I think with you here I can do, but I don't know if I'm doing myself. I will not. Maybe I will do mistakes. I don't know.
Okay, and mistakes are great. And you made mistakes when I was gone on the others, but we fixed it. It was wasn't life changing. It was all fine. The bottom line is, this is where we need to keep going. You know that you have now put one on the left and one on the right. Okay? Now we need to do one on the other side. And it doesn't matter which triangle you do. And you could put this right here, but I really want it on this side. I want this patchwork to be up so that you can see the points on this.
It's gonna be really difficult for me to sewing this.
Okay, so everybody give a good candle, light a thought, say a prayer.
Oh my gosh, I think this is more, this project or this episode, it's more complex than I could imagine, because so many, I think the more, I'm an outsider. I'm outside of the quilt, I think for you guys it's easy to sewing a lot of parts. Oh, it's easy, turn around, upside down, whatever. But for me, when he started to put a triangle in the first patch, it was okay. I thought, well, it's a house. No, another triangle, and I was, how am I gonna sewing this? Especially with upside down here.
Okay, before it goes, let me show this, because this little camera here has a really good thing. This little bunny ear is sticking out right here, and we're going to start sewing about right here. All right, you're just going to start sewing. You're going to continue sewing, and just like when you were sewing the strips, I said you always want to see a hairline of the bottom fabric.
Yeah.
So as long as you feel like you can see that little edge of the bottom fabric right there, and you're sewing a 1/4 inch for this project, it's going to keep going and it's going to come off. And it may not come off at this triangle here. That's not what I'm trying to do on this one. We just keep sewing on the 1/4 inch and come off the edge, okay? So give that a shot. I don't want to rush you through this because this is new patchwork for you, and you are definitely learning something brand new. Okay, now here's the great thing. We would just keep chain piecing these, but for the sake of we're just working on one of them, bring that one over and let's take a look at it. Again, I'm going to finger press it. Yep. Let me show you. Here. Thumbnail. Just like scratch it with your fingernails and that'll work. Okay? Guess what's next? Yep. So any one of them, you can choose any one of these triangles that you like. Okay? Yep. You have got the puzzle completely figured out now. I do see that one is really tiny.
Yeah.
Just give it a little tug. Did you see me lick my fingers? You're going to find that that's something that you'll end up doing a lot of. And then whenever you lay this down, I'm going to get closer to the camera. This is going to be aligned really nice and straight right along there. I've got about the same bunny ears sticking out on each side. And then whenever you go to the machine, again, you just start sewing with this straight edge on the right of the foot and go all the way down and off. You do want to try to be careful as you're sewing this seam. You don't want this seam to fall back on you this direction.
Yeah,
so you're going to have to just, if you have to raise the foot and lower it for that spot, that's what you want to do next. And at any time you want to stop, take a breath, and you can look, you can reposition, because if you'll notice, this triangle is trying to go to the right, and you could reposition this, but you can't reposition it if you just keep going. All right? So stopping is oftentimes a really good thing to do.
You will see me because I sew
So
really slow, because every time I'm sewing I start being slow and then I start being more fast because I'm more confident. I think that's gonna happen now. I will start slow, and then when I be more comfortable with sewing, I'm gonna be fast.
and do a finger press. And I'm gonna show you this because as you were sewing, obviously, and this is just such really good beginner lessons. I'm looking at this and I look at the distance here, and I see that that was 1/4 of an inch. And because you're kind of blind right here, you started veering and you got a little bit fat, and the right edge of your toe, and here you got really fat, and then it kind of went back. So this is a bit of a curved seam. That's going to be perfectly okay for this project. But as we go forward, and after you sew all these blocks, you're going to get better at that. And this was your very first one to do. So when I flip this over, now we have what the block is going to look like. It's just that we need to get rid of what we call these big bunny ears. Okay? So we'll simply take the rotary cutter and get rid of those, flip it to the other side, get rid of those, and for now, this will be your block. Don't worry about those yet. And the reason we're not worried about those yet is because I know what's coming. But that will be dealt with. These will get pressed, and you're going to start making all of your 3-inch squares are going to get 4 triangles put on them. That's your next assignment, and that's what you're going to do while we all have a coffee break, or, I don't know, go to bed and sleep for a couple days and come back and watch and see what you've done.
Oh my gosh, I have a lot of work to do.
You've got homework. You've got homework, right?
A lot.
Yeah. So does this look familiar at all?
It looks a quilt that you made.
Can you think about that quilt? And
It's like the houses.
the houses, you think this looks like the, does it still
The
look like the
colors,
houses?
I know.
It's the colors. Okay. All right. Well, he hasn't got that figured out yet,
Oh,
everybody.
maybe a window? No.
I have a feeling that some of the people watching are starting to figure this out, but
Like a window?
you haven't figured it out yet. So, all right. So, everybody, hope you're having fun watching Hugo learn to make a quilt, and he's going to make all these blocks, and then we're going to go from there.
Later, I said that I was lost seeing all these parts come together. But when I have a block, I'm still lost. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna be.
You use a pecan cracker and jam in on the top, and you put a slide of pepperoni and mozzarella, and then you just slide with basilic. Basilic? Oh. Basilic, and then you crack. You crack.
One more time.
It's tell me.
You did good.
Basil.
All right, here we go again.
Okay. You use a pecan cracker and then you put some jam in it, and then you use a slide of pepperoni with a little mozzarella, and then you just split some basil on the top, and then you cut it. You destroy it.